Activating the student's prior knowledge is a perfect plenary exercise. This knowledge may often be knowledge buried deep in their memory, and it might be of good help that other students each remember some bits of the knowledge or have different references to the topic, or that the path from the old to new knowledge is so complicated that they need multiple impulses to see the correlation. I'll introduce you to a model which explains this stage of collaboration. The SEKI model. Activating the student's prior knowledge, unconscious knowledge or silent knowledge, is done through the S in SEKI, which stands for socialization. Experiencing together. Individual silent knowledge is shared and becomes the group's joint knowledge. In this process, affiliation, the experience of fellowship and empathy, is important. And it is in the socialization stage we will look into some digital tools which may be used for doing this process, either asynchronous online or in an efficient way in the classroom. We will also see that the mentioned tools and methods may be used in other parts of the SEKI model, even if it's a bit off topic in this journey. I'm allowing myself to briefly explain the rest of the model. The E, externalization, is where the silent knowledge becomes explicit knowledge. In this process, expressing and discussing the joint silent knowledge from the socialization process is essential. The C, combination, is where old and new knowledge is assembled into more complicated knowledge structures. In this process, reflection is essential for connecting the old and new knowledge. And finally, the I, internalization, getting savvy with the reflections in the combination phase, practicing the explicit knowledge, or in other words, this is the learning goal, or deep learning. The knowledge has been anchored so deep that it can be practiced, reflected upon, and used as prior knowledge for further learning or specialization. The SEKI gives us a good model on how students and teachers can take advantage of their joint prior knowledge and acquire new knowledge together. But let's step aside for a moment to take a look at a quite interesting phenomenon. Is there compliance between people's perception of their own level of knowledge and the real level? This has been researched quite a lot. We won't dig deep into this research, but I've chosen a model which may help us get a bit deeper into the different aspects of activating prior knowledge, the Dunning-Kruger effect. It's easy to comprehend, and for me personally, it saves me from losing faith in humanity when browsing through different posts in open political discussions on Facebook and in the comment sections of articles. The model does not apply to all in the same way due to our different personalities. Some of us are modest, others the contrary, but it gives us a good indication on how we usually perceive our own level of knowledge or mastering in different topics. The vertical axis displays level of mastery from 0 to 100%. In the horizontal axis, the participants are divided into quarters, from lowest to highest level, left to right. The blue line in the diagram displays how the different groups estimate their mastery level of a specific topic. The red line displays the gut feeling after they have been tested in the topic. It answers the "how did it go?" question before getting the result. The first quartile estimates a level between 50 and 60% mastery, and the fourth quartile estimates the level to be about 80%. And by looking at the green line, which illustrates the real test result, we can clearly see what the Dunning-Kruger effect is all about. People seem to overrate their own level of knowledge in topics they really don't know so much about. The first quartile, whose estimate was about 50 to 60% mastery, only scored 10% when tested. At the same time, we see that the more a person knows about a topic, the more exact the estimate. and those with the highest level of mastery also tend to underestimate their level, which is also interesting. But the focus for now: the gap between the estimated and the real level of knowledge for those with lowest score. There are a lot of attempts to explain why this effect is so distinct. One of them are the term common sense, which by far may differ amongst different people. Humans have a desire to know and understand their surroundings, and when not being able to do so, we tend to create an explanation based on our previous knowledge and experience. We presume. This presumption skill tells us a lot about how outstanding our brains really are, but also the importance of collaborative learning. Also, we have to consider that knowledge is acquired from social media as well as from the traditional sources of news or knowledge. The social media may expose us for misconception and fake news, which we easily may acquire even if we don't reflect upon it. By having the Dunning-Kruger effect in mind, unlearning is also an important part of the socialization and externalization phases in the Seki model. For this reason, the journey should really be called activating what the students know and deactivating what they thought they knew but was wrong. But the length of that title would be way too long, so I left it as it is. Let's try to summarize this video. Activating the prior knowledge involves both activating and acquiring the student's associations or prior knowledge, and revealing the needs of adjusting or unlearning. The SRS method is excellent for doing so, and it may also benefit of giving the teacher a quite detailed mapping of the existing knowledge in the student group, which is useful when planning the further learning process.